Canada Post workers are back on the picket line today. The union, representing 55,000 workers, says the strike action is the result of Ottawa's proposed overhaul of the Crown Corporation. That proposal includes ending home delivery service and closing some rural mail outlets. The federal government says the reforms are needed to reduce the corporation's mounting operating deficit. And some rural towns are expecting to feel the brunt of this strike. Residents are worried their access to mail will be limited or even completely halted. Bonavista is one of those communities. They are a town on the east coast of Newfoundland and Labrador that has just over 3,000 residents. Their mayor, John Norman, joins us now live in our studio. So Mayor Norman, first of all, welcome and thank you for taking the time to come into the studio today. It's so nice to have someone in here in person to talk about this issue that is, of course, going to affect quite a few people. So tell us a little bit about how you anticipate it might affect your community.
Well, as you said, Bonavista is about 3,000 or so people. Catchment area is about 8,000. We're on the far eastern edge of the country in Newfoundland. Canada Post plays a pivotal role in the community. Not only is it doing letter mail, but a huge number of packages. In communities like ours, in many rural communities across the country, we have to remind ourselves that you can't just go to one of the other major operators and drop off packages. We don't have those offices in a lot of our communities, so a lot of people heavily rely on Canada Post.
If the strike doesn't end soon, what do you think could happen to people in your community?
Of course, I'm concerned about the ramifications of people's individual mail, yes, but Bonavista has been forging a path over the last number of years as a rural exporter. And a number of products that are manufactured, boutique products, salt and bathwares, coffee, they're all created and manufactured in Bonavista and mostly shipped through Canada Post to their buyers across the country and outside of Canada. There are concerns on how this will reverberate through the business community, as well as those that are just private residents, seniors, not really up to speed on how to book online systems for couriers and so on. They just go to their local post office. So those are some major concerns.
So it's really not just about receiving mail and packages. Like you're saying, it's the impact on those businesses who are hopefully shipping things out to customers across the country. What have they been telling you, residents in your community?
Well, exactly that. And from the business community and from the private citizens, we have to remind everybody that rural Canada, we are producers. We're producers in manufacturing, the fishery, agriculture, mining. There are major economic activities that are happening outside of these major urban centres across the country. And Canada Post plays a pivotal role in that. So when you put a roadblock in the way of that economic activity, those businesses, that's of major concern. They need to find other ways. As I said, there aren't these small offices to drop off packages and ship out. So there are challenges, and we'd rather not face it. Not to mention the political issues, I think, that the government will face as they move forward with these things, and all of those seats that are across rural Canada.
So talk to us about that. How do you anticipate this could impact both local and even federal elections in terms of how people in your community are feeling and thinking and how they might vote based on this?
Well, I think it's very much in line with what I just said. The idea of rural Canada, our place in the country, and this growing undertone of frustration in rural remote areas. We are contributing to the country. We expect services. We can't simply erode away and remove things like Canada Post when they play such a vital role in our local economies and societies. And I think that is a sensitive issue for the government in power and anyone looking to get elected in rural parts of Canada right now.
And finally here, John, what about longer term? What about any longer term concerns that you might have about Canada Post? Because certainly what we've heard about in the past 24 hours, but also in recent months, is that they are in a very difficult situation right now.
Well, We manage municipal finances. I have my own businesses. We understand that there are major financial issues and constraints with Canada Post, and there have to be efficiencies found. When it comes to rural areas, I think we have to be a little bit more sensitive. I don't imagine that Canada Post is going to remove itself and its large facility in Bonavista. But in our smaller surrounding communities, we have a lot of satellite spaces where you have, one staff person here, one staff person there. I'm wondering how those very small communities on the periphery of Bonavista and in other areas across Canada that are within very close proximity of larger Canada Post sites, how will they be affected? And it seems as though the government is alluding that some of those are going to disappear. This is going to cause reverberations politically, I think, for the federal government.
Okay, we're going to leave it there for today. But John, thank you so much for coming in, for sharing some of your concerns about this and how it's going to be impacting your community. We do appreciate this.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. John Norman, the mayor of Bonavista, Newfoundland and Labrador.